Number 10. Drive-through weddings. The wedding day. The most beautiful, perfect, and likely expensive day of your entire life. Every single person you care about, and a handful that you don't, are going to be there to witness you seal the deal with your one true love. You'll rent a limo, book time at a church, rent out a reception hall, buy new and exceptionally expensive clothes that you'll wear one time in your life, as well as pay for the catering, florist, and dining service, and a half dozen or so other things. While you may have put yourself into debt until you're 60, it was a magical day, wasn't it? What if we told you that out there deep in the south of Nevada, there is an easier and substantially cheaper way? Introducing the drive-through wedding, or its on-wheels variant, the portable chapel. Both of these business ideas have had quite some success in areas such as Las Vegas. Who knows why? The average drive-through wedding will only set you back a few $100s for the certificate, and no need to dress formally. In fact, odds are the priest won't be dressed up too much either. As for a small fee, many will come dressed up as Elvis. Number 9. Maila prank companies. Got someone snooping through your mail? Want to pull a prank without it ever being led back to you? Thanks to the glory of the internet, several entrepreneurial companies have sprung up with the express purpose of anonymously mailing things that no sane person would ever mail to themselves. Most common amongst these are the glitter pranks, where you literally pay a stranger $10 to mail someone you hate a $2 package of glitter. The premise of the prank is simple. It comes in an envelope wrapped in a folded letter. As the victim opens the letter, it will dump a handful of glitter on them, their chair, the floor. Yeah, you get the idea. Although more expensive, there are also companies that ship glitter bombs. These are the same premise, except they are a package or tube, which upon opening, forcefully launch an open package of glitter onto everything. There are so many of these so-called Maila prank companies, and their products range from the aforementioned glitter pranks to unwanted phallic objects, to even semi-synthetic feces. Number 8. Cheating websites. To have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. From this day forward until death do us part, or until one he stumbles upon AshleyMadison.com. Despite the vows that many billions of people have taken, apparently around 52 million people are rather unsatisfied in their marriage. AshleyMadison.com was first launched in 2001 with the tagline, "Life is short, have an affair." It seeked out the seemingly niche market of married men and women who wish to cheat on their spouses with other married men and women. And all for the low cost of free. Free to sign up, that is. Ashley Madison has two money-making business models. For starters, it costs 5 credits to initiate a conversation. These credits cost real money, and depending on your order amount, can cost between 29 and 59 cents per credit. That's up to $3 to start a conversation. Their second source of income is in the deletion of accounts. Free to sign up, $20 to delete. Also, thanks to the 2015 hack, we now know that even after paying this fee, accounts were not deleted. Did we say hack? In 2015, their entire client database was posted online, including names, emails, IP addresses, and activity. Since then, the site has done its best to migrate towards a non-affair user base, with limited success so far. Number 7. The $1 Million Homepage. We've talked about it before, but we're still not over the genius of this idea. Created by a 21-year-old, the $1 Million Homepage listed for sale one of the internet's most plentiful commodities. Pixels. If you're watching this video in 1080p HD, there are 2,073,600 pixels in every frame, and around 30 frames per second. Nevertheless, the $1 Million Homepage made roughly, or, well, exactly $1 million. This money was made by selling off clumps of pixels for $1 each, and then hotlinking those clumps to designated URLs. The site, despite being well over a decade old, is still up today, which we unfortunately can't say for most of its links. The website's blocks are mostly spam, offering cheap CDs, online casinos, enhancement pills, and other just random stuff. The only well-known business we could find was Yahoo and the Times. Most of these sites have either expired and their domains are for sale, or they straight up link to a 404 page. Either way, it took only 128 days to sell all the pixels, meaning that the website earned him on average $8,000 per day. Number 6. Hangover Helpers. No, this company doesn't ship you a kit in the mail, nor do they send you some therapeutic meditation videos. In fact, we're not even sure they even help with the hangover, but they sure do help with other things. We are of course referring to post-party cleanup companies. While there are a variety of these companies cropping up around the world, the first and seemingly most popular of the bunch is Australia's own Hangover Helpers. Unfortunately, they're not usually an on-demand service, but if you know you're gonna have a party in a few weeks and don't want to clean up after, you can fill out their online form and get an instant calculated quote on how much you will be charged. Not only will they clean your house top to bottom, they also come bearing breakfast. You can order up to 15 breakfast meals to arrive with the cleaners, with the choice between a breakfast burrito and an apple oatmeal yogurt. Number 5. Synthetic wishbones. Ever gotten into a fistfight with a family member over who gets to break the wishbone from the Thanksgiving turkey? No? Is that not a normal thing? Well, anyway, for those of you who have, in 2006, Seattle's own Ken Aharoni launched the Lucky Wishbone, a synthetic wishbone with the feel and sound of the real thing. His idea stemmed from the fighting he and his sisters would have every year about who gets to break the wishbone, and the realization that in 47 years of life, he himself had only won that fight a half dozen times. Knowing that millions of other people likely went through the same thing, he created the Lucky Wishbone so that everyone at the table would get a chance to make their wish come true. Number 4. Something Store. Have you ever bought a mystery bag in the clear-out section of the store? It's usually filled with a massive mix of random items that the store had laying around but couldn't sell. It's a win-win. You get a whole bunch of probably useless stuff for way cheaper than if you bought them all separately, and the store gets to free up shelf space. By the same concept, in exchange for $10, Something Store sends you 10 random things. They guarantee that every item they send out is brand new and worth at least $10 MSRP. And they promise to do their best to make the item either valuable, fun, or useful. A couple years ago, Tosh.0 did a segment on the website, and bulk ordered 20 of them. Most of them were not notable, but one cast member did get a Kobo e-reader, so not bad for $10. Do note that while they guarantee a $10 MSRP, the item can still be garbage. And as such, they have received quite a few complaints. But then again, whoever ordered it paid for something, and received something, so they did fulfill their promise. Number 3. Animal renting services. We're going to take a wild guess and say that most of you have never considered raising a cow, pig, chicken, or goat. However, despite how ridiculous it sounds, there is apparently a market for recreational farm animal hospitality. If this interests you for some reason, step back and think for a moment. How do you know you'd be able to raise a farm animal? It's a lot of work, you know, and it's quite the investment. Here's an idea: rent one out for a few weeks, see how it is. You know, test the water a little. There exists many sites, such as rentthechicken.com, which allows users to, you guessed it, rent a chicken for a few months at a time. Costs vary widely between locations and animals, but we found that most 6-month-old chicken rentals will cost you around $500 for a couple chickens and their coops. A cow, on the other hand, could set you back as much as $150 a week. Number 2. Meme image websites. Memes. The lifeblood of the modern internet. For this point, we're going way back to the day when image macros weren't only found on Facebook. Created in 2007 and credited as one of the first websites dedicated solely to memes, I Can Has Cheeseburger allowed users to host their macro animal creations. These mostly feature cats and other household pets, usually standing or sitting in some form of weird position, and large top and bottom text forming some sort of hilarious caption. These days, websites like 9gag and Funny Junk follow a similar setup, but host much more diverse content. These websites are usually kept afloat and profit from donations, ad revenue, sponsorships, and merchandise. While for some sites this is enough to keep the servers running and not much more, other sites have had a great amount of success. The Cheeseburger Network, spawned from its similarly named website, was bought the same year it was founded for $2 million. According to worthofweb.com, the website's worth is now around $70 million. Similarly, their largest competitor, 9gag, is worth around $900 million. Not bad for hosting images. Number 1. Selling hope. This one is the only item on this list that has no redeeming factor. These companies and individuals are scam artists to the extreme, preying on people's faith and, worse, their hope. So far in 2017 alone, the FDA cracked down on 14 snake oil companies, such as Everything Herbs, which sold a dozen or so products, many of which promote the cure of cancer as one of their effects. One such product, Lapacho oil, was labeled as a pain reliever and boasted the ability to cure anemia, leukemia, cancer of all types, lupus, inflammation, Hodgkin's disease, Parkinson's disease, colitis, arteriosclerosis, gastric problems, leukorrhea, cystitis, hemorrhages, prostate inflammation, polyps, psoriasis, and eczema in 1 month or less. Many of these are severely life-impacting or fatal, and as such are prime candidates for a cure-all scam. Googling these products and their names does not come up with scam alert sites, but natural medicine sites that have conducted heavy research into their benefits and concluded them as successful. So even if they are wise enough to look up the product before buying, it may not do them any good.